Hello and welcome to Inside Line. I'm Stephen Otley and I'm joined this week by fellow drive writer Matt Campbell.
G'day.
Now this week we'll look at speed limits and speed cameras and Aston Martin's future. But first, it's time for our internet burnout. And now that guy's not pouring acid on a car, it's hot water onto heat-sensitive paint. Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it, Matt?
It sure is. It reminds me of those old hypercolour T-shirts from the 90s.
Yeah, it reminds me of the start of Cannonball Run 2 where the Lamborghini changes colour. It's very funky.
Certainly a talking point.
Yeah. Now, on to more serious matters, and this week the Northern Territory Government announced it will remove the speed limit on a 200-kilometre stretch of the Stuart Highway. Is this dangerous or clever, Matt?
Well, it mustn't be dangerous if the government's willing to do it. They wouldn't put people's lives at risk. So it is a positive step in my mind that they're going to trial it. And it's not new for the Northern Territory. They used to have it in the past. Yeah,
now, when they introduced a 130-kilometre speed limit, the road toll actually went up, didn't it? Because we're talking huge distances in the NT. You and I have just driven there this year, and it is a long way between towns, and you really want to cover some distance.
Exactly right. And, when you're sitting at 130 k's an hour, there's that constant fatigue. You've got to constantly watch your speed limit. Whereas if it's more open, it's only going to be for 200 k's. You might do that in an hour if you're pushing it. That sort of makes me think that it could be good. It could make people drive with more alertness.
Yeah, definitely. Now, speaking of speed limits, and it's the opposite situation in Victoria. Police and speed camera operators have been given the go-ahead to begin hiding their speed traps. Now, what's been the reaction here, mate?
Well, it's not necessarily hiding. This is the confusion in this issue. They've said that they're going to be able to park their mobile speed camera units behind certain obstacles. Now, that's not to obscure them from view, but they say it's to keep the operators safe.
Yeah. But having lived in Victoria, and for people that only live in New South Wales, where the police and speed camera operators have to display a sign saying that they're checking your speed, in Victoria that's not been the case, and they're allowed to sit in unmarked cars and all sorts of, not your average Commodore and Ford Territory, it's all sorts of different things. I've seen Toyota Corollas and Mitsubishi Lancers and Outlanders and all sorts of things. So, I know from experience having lived there, you've got to keep your wits about you because, you've really got to keep one eye on the speedo, which arguably is more dangerous than, as we're just saying, the Northern Territory, keeping your eyes on the road. You actually spend all your time driving around because there's such little tolerance down there. You can't afford to do 51 kilometres an hour in a 50 zone. I
know, exactly. And I don't see these mobile speed cameras, because they have such small tolerances, I don't see this as a positive move. I see it, if you can't see the thing, it's not really working, in my mind. Yeah. If you want to make things safer on the road, you should be able to see what's making it safer. Yeah.
And really, if they're serious about road safety, all the money they're raising from this really should go back into better driver education and better roads.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, finally this week, news from Aston Martin, and the British band is still plotting to revive the Lagonda brand and join the luxury SUV crowd. Now, what's the story here?
Well, they wouldn't be the first luxury SUV, would they?
Well, that's kind of it, isn't it? They've seen Bentley and Lamborghini say they're going to go into the old SUV market. So,
and you just got to look at
one more in.
You just got to look at Porsche's success in that market. It's been massive. They make huge profits out of the Cayenne range, and
so much so that we're about to see the Macan, the smaller one. So
exactly,
it's the way of the world, isn't it?
It is. People want SUVs. They also want a sports car with an SUV body. It just makes sense to do it.
Yeah, hopefully, it will look a lot different from the Lagonda concept we saw at Geneva in 2009, because that didn't go down well, did it?
No, it was what you'd call polarising. Yeah, it was a love or hate sort of thing. More people hated it, I think. So.
Well, it did have a face like a dropped pie. Yeah. Well, that's it for Inside Line this week. As usual, stay tuned to drive.com.au for all the latest motoring news, reviews and videos. Thanks for watching.